Here we have, once again, the set of 6. For those of you who have not watched it, I ask Will 6 questions. It is not a difficult concept. Now, Will, here we go. First question. Mitchell Pearce had a terrible injury on the weekend, tearing his pec. Is this the most interesting thing to happen to a breast in Newcastle since Club 5 opened?
Well, I have been to Club 5 when I was younger, really younger, so I'd have to say yes because there wasn't much there. I got straight out of there.
I'm doing that before you incriminate yourself. Number 2, Sam Burgess, as we have discussed earlier, has been suspended for another 2 weeks. He's been compared with some of the greats of the game who have had significant issues with the judiciary as well. Now, who has spent more time in the judiciary? Sam Burgess, Adrian Morley, or the Newcastle chapter of the Finks?
Adrian Morley, followed by the Finks.
That'll do. Now, you played in the Anzac game. Is that game more, I guess, exciting than any other normal round game of the year?
Definitely is. Playing some Anzac Test, which is different, but playing with the Roosters against the Dragons when they've got the jets flying over, they've got everything. It's a really emotional day. You can see how them games really bring out the best in both teams. You know, St George and the Roosters, they always have some classic games. I think I've been beaten in both of them, but yeah, it's a special moment, especially when the jets fly over. Everybody's, you know, it's pretty surreal, and you do remember, you know, the old digger. So I love this weekend.
I didn't do that because it was a good answer. All right, now, the Warriors are now sitting on top of the comp and playing some tremendous football. Do you think that they will do this all year? And if so, should Dave Dobbin sing Slice of Heaven as grand final entertainment?
I think they're the real deal. I think they got questioned against the Broncos and everybody went, oh no, it's back to the same old Warriors. St George go over there, which is the best side in the comp at the moment. St George didn't look like winning. They got a beat down from the Warriors. You know, I reckon I've got all faith in them and should definitely sing Slice of Heaven. If they win the grand final, he should sing it nude.
Nude. All right. Now, the next question is, there is rumours, well, it's not actually rumours, it's happened. Andrew Bogut, the number 1 NBA draft pick, has just signed a contract with the Sydney Kings. Now, 2 things. Will Andrew Bogut signing save the NBL? And does anyone actually think it's still finished since Steve Carfino retired?
I don't think it's going to save the NBL. I think Andrew Bogut's right at the end of his career. He's had a brilliant career over in the NBA and he's come back home. You know, I don't think he could play any more over in the NBA. He couldn't get a gig over there. He's had some great years with the Golden State Warriors. He wants to come back home to Australia. He's got an ownership with the Kings. So it's a bit of a business venture for him. So good luck to him.
I didn't know that. He owns it, does he? Righto. Full of information you are.
A lot of TV in this brain.
It's true. The ARU last year, in a controversial decision, got rid of the Western Force to leave them with 4 Super Rugby teams. So far this year, the Australian teams are yet to beat a New Zealand side in the Super Rugby. Given that it's the Anzac weekend, should we invade New Zealand, forget about the Anzacs, steal all their teams, and then we would win a game finally?
That's pathetic. I didn't really realise that, but yeah,
36 in a row.
For us not to even have a win against a New Zealand provincial side is unbelievable. I think Australian rugby has obviously regressed since the World Cup, and New Zealand rugby has gone through the roof as usual. I'm not sure what the problem is. I think, you know, we probably need about 10 Israel Folau's. We need a couple more forwards. I don't know. I'm not sure what the problem is, but we've obviously regressed, and we need to build for next year.
Thank you. And as always, if you would like to have a question read out, then send it in to me. Don't send it to Will, because then he'll see it beforehand, via the Unfiltered Facebook page, the Unfiltered Instagram, or DM me, because now I'm very...
Don't slide into his DMs, all right?